Hello, it's Shane Willis, the Pensacola real estate expert, bringing you today's episode of 5 Minutes in Real Estate. Today's topic is this: houses are selling much, much faster. Are you ready on both sides of the equation? Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode.
Welcome to the show that takes up no more than 5 minutes of your time, but could help you gain massive real estate knowledge. It's 5 Minutes in Real Estate with best-selling author Shane Willis.
Alright, so today I wanted to chat with you a little bit about the area here locally, and I'm going to put in the show notes even nationally that backs up what I'm talking about here locally. How properties are selling even faster. June came out. June numbers finally came out from all the statistics. Now it's, mid-August. That's normally what happens. They come out a little behind, but they came out, said houses across the country were selling on average in 26 days. 26 days. That's how long it was taking them on the market. So, a little over 3 weeks. A little over 3 weeks, and you're under contract. Now, let me clarify, because as I look at this area right now, and I looked at the price points for this week's numbers, anything in the Pensacola area, Escambia County, between $0 and $200,000 is less than 2 months inventory. And if you remember our shows in the past, anything under 6 months has started to become a seller's market. Anything under 3 months has started to become a hyper seller's market. So we sit there with 2 months worth of inventory. Yeah, it's a hyper seller's market at that point. And I had some stories right now. I actually had a case where I had a guy call me. I had a foreclosure that I listed. It was $65,000. And $65,000, I had a guy call me the first day it came on the market. Actually, he called me probably within an hour. So I know he had some type of watch on the market, because it normally takes a minute to get on the public sites, but maybe he had some type of watch, I don't know. But he said, hey, I'm very interested in this property. So we talked about the property. He goes, okay, tell you what, I've got to wrap up a sale, and I want to make sure I have this cash before I make an offer. And I warned him, I said, at this price point, it might not last very long. And he goes, well, this is only going to take a week. It's only going to take a week. And I said, I don't know that it'll survive. Sure enough, he called me yesterday. He said, hey, just wanting to, I finally got that close up. And the first conversation honestly happened a week ago. So it was last Monday that happened. He called me yesterday and said, I'm looking, man, something caught my throat this morning. He said, I am looking at picking this up now. We finally got everything settled, and I've got the cash. So I had to break it to him that, nope, that property is actually under contract. And even though it went under contract last Tuesday, it's closing today. Because at that price point, there's a lot of cash buyers out there. I had another property that came on. It was another REO foreclosure that I did for a bank. And they put the property on at $50,900. $50,900. Well, the time on market, or the amount of inventory at the 50,000 mark, is under a month. So in 48 hours, I had 24 offers on that property. It's not just cut in half. In 48 hours, I really was getting an offer every other hour. I had 24 offers on that property, all of them cash. And it wound up going much higher. I had another property that we put on the market for $149. It was right there at the, price point. I told him to put it on at $150 because, well, there's a psychological behind it, but bank wanted to put it on $149, so we put it on at $149. Sure enough, it took less than a week, and I had 3 offers on the property. Even the above 200, 250, 300, those are still not taking long to get offers right now. So why do I say all that? Why do I give you these stories about what's happening right now in this market, and what I'm really doing and what I'm really going through? It's because as a seller, you might want to pay attention to that. I know we're creeping up towards the holidays. September's coming up, and then everybody thinks, well, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you're not going to sell properties. Yeah, I've got clients that'll disagree with you completely. We had one that put property on the market right around Veterans Day. So first, second week of November, we finalized, got everything on the market. I had him under contract in 2 weeks. And he told me, he goes, Shane, when we put it on the market, I really did think you would market it through the holidays. I had no intentions of being moved out by Christmas. Well, you could have told me that when we started talking. He goes, no, I'm not upset. I'm just surprised. And so he tells everybody as we go around talking, look, if you want to sell your house, make sure you're ready to move, because Shane's going to move it. All right, I say all that to say, hey, as sellers, you need to pay attention. Stuff is moving quickly, so we need to talk about plans for you to move quickly, because there's a lot of buyers that want to move very quickly. And it's buyers. You got to set yourself apart now, too. It's not 2011, 2012, where you can go look at this house and then look at that house and then maybe think about talking to a bank for a day or two. And then, I must be recording my audio because there goes the lawnmower again. Look at a house for a day or two and then maybe go talk to the bank 2 days later and wait another week to get a pre-approval. No, you're going to have to differentiate yourself now. There are a lot of price points in this area that are sellers' markets. So differentiate yourself means you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared at the property. When you see the property, if you're 70% sure this is the one, you might want to write an offer. You might want to seriously consider writing an offer right there on the spot. An agent needs to have either a tablet or right back to the office to go write the offer or something. Because you've got to get those things locked up. Now, there's still a lot of contingencies in these contracts, so you still have time to do your home inspection. But taking 3 days, 4 days to go home, talk it over, that could cost you the property in today's market. All right, that's all I got for you today. As always, if you are not subscribed to our email list to get some tips, tricks, and guidelines for what I talk about in the podcast, get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. That's 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, either in iTunes or Google Play. And finally, if you brought any value from these podcasts brought to you, make sure that you share it on social media. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.